Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from Li Bang International Corporation. It's like they're trying to keep secrets, but we're cracking the code to see what's really going on with their money. Think of it as corporate hide and seek, and we're about to find out what they're hiding, which is hopefully not billion-dollar skeletons. Speaking of secrets, Li Bang International just dropped their financial results for the first half of last year. That's the 6 months that ended in December. The big question is, did they make money or lose it? Are they growing or are they shrinking? We'll dig into the numbers and see what the story really is. Before we jump in, if you're into getting the real story behind corporate documents, get subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come chat with us about this report and other companies. This report is called a Form 6K, and it's what foreign companies use to tell the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, about important stuff happening in their business. It's kind of like their version of a quarterly report, but not exactly. This one is for the month of June last year. So Li Bang International released a press release about how they did in the first half of the year. We're also getting a look at their unaudited and condensed financial statements. Unaudited means nobody double-checked their work besides them, so we'll have to take it with a grain of salt, and condensed means we're not getting all the nitty-gritty details. Now let's talk about Li Bang International themselves. They're based in China, and from what I understand, they deal with lots of different products, anything from garments to steel pipes, so they're kind of like a general store for international trade. This report comes with a few important exhibits, including the company's press release concerning the earnings, their unaudited financial statements, and a breakdown from management talking all about the financial statements. Alright, let's dive into those numbers. This is where we see how much money Li Bang International actually made or lost. We're looking at what's called the unaudited, condensed, consolidated statements of operations. This is just a fancy term for the income statement. First up, net sales. This is the total amount of money the company made from selling stuff. For the 6 months ended December last year, we're looking at about $28 million. The year before, for the same period, it was higher, $30 million. Sales went down for $2 million, or by about 6%. That's like losing 6 customers out of every 100 compared to the year before. That is not awesome, but not catastrophic either. Next, we have cost of revenues. This is how much it cost Li Bang International to make the stuff they sold. Basically, the raw materials, the labor, all that. This was around $25 million for the 6 months ended December last year. It was about $26 million the year before. So their cost went down about $1 million, but it's nothing compared to the revenue. But this is a mixed blessing. Costs going down can be from the revenue going down in the first place. Okay, so we got the gross profit line. This the money left over after they paid for making their stuff. So it's revenue minus the costs. Here the gross profit is roughly around $3 million for the period we're looking into. The previous period gross profit was about $4 million. So the actual profit went down for about 25%, or 1/4 in other words. Remember that these numbers aren't checked by outside people, so they might be wrong. Now let's look at selling, general and administrative expenses. This is all the other costs of running the business that aren't directly related to making stuff. Things like salaries, rent, marketing, the usual stuff. This was about $2 million and about $2 million the year before. They also have something called other income expenses. It was about $10,000 income last period compared to $40,000 expense the previous period. Taking all this into account, let's look at the income before income taxes. This is your profit before paying any taxes. They took in about $1.2 million. Previous period, it's $1.7 million. After taxes, the net income is $1.1 million. Previous period, it's $1.6 million. Again, they lost about 1/4 of the income to net income. Very bad. Let's move on to the balance sheet now. The balance sheet is a snapshot of their assets, what they own, their liabilities, what they owe, and their equity. First up, total assets. As of December last year, we're looking at about $41 million, about the same as the year before. Now, liabilities. This is all the money Li Bang International owes to other people or companies. It's all their debts and obligations. Look at total liabilities. As of December last year, it's about $13.6 million, slightly more than previous year's $13.5 million. Not a big difference. Finally, we have shareholders' equity. This is basically the value of the company that belongs to the owners, the shareholders, after all the debts are paid off. About $27.5 million. Previous year, it's about 27.6, so nothing changed here. Overall, their assets, liabilities, and shareholder equity remain pretty much the same as the previous year. Now let's check the cash flow statements where we can see how they making and spending cash. Cash flows from operating activities is the cash they generate from their revenues. Last period, they made about $28 million, while the period previous to it, they made $3.1 million. Cash flows from investing activities relates to any cash generated in or out from any investment activity. Previous period had an outflow of $8 million. Last period is $6 million. The final cash flow statement item is cash flows from financing activities, in which we see how did they make or lose cash related to financing such as debt. This activity generated $0.24 million last period and about $0.24 million the previous period. And finally, we have to keep in mind the effect of exchange rate changes on cash. This period, it affected by about $7,000. It affected about $44,000 the previous period. Now, let's scroll down to the McKenzie discussion and analysis. This is where the company's management explains what's going on with the business in their own words. It's always good to take this with a grain of salt because they're trying to make themselves look good. Looking at these numbers, it seems like Li Bang International had a slightly rougher 6 months in December compared to the year before. Their sales are down, their profits are down, but their costs are also down. It's like they're running harder just to kind of stay in the same place. Now for the disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, this is just my take. Based on this document, don't go out and buy or sell stock based on what I say. So here's my take. I think Li Bang International faces some interesting challenges. Their profitability is shrinking, and that's never good, but they're still profitable. So it's not a doomsday scenario. I'd want to dig deeper into why sales are down to see a clear picture of things. In my opinion, they are doing okay. Not bad, but definitely need some improving. That's our breakdown of Li Bang International's latest filing. What's your take on these results and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.